Welcome, Big Show nerds. We have a lot to talk about. We have some DCU cancellations to talk about. We have a couple of rumors. One little tech rumor about a certain iPhone that might be coming out very soon, and just a number of things. So let's jump into the episode, shall we? Okay, so before we do the news, we have the news about the show and the channel and such. This is housekeeping, and for housekeeping this week, not a whole lot, just a regular week, which means we should be returning for the Friday show. I believe I have ferreted out the issue that happened last week with the craziness on the music and the things. So yeah, that is wonderful. New setup though, so if you join on the live show on Friday night, then bear with me because there are a couple of kinks that are still working out. I hope to have them figured out by the time we get to the live show, but I was just kind of dropped a little bit of a bombshell this afternoon from my landlord, so, you know, things might be a little crazy for the next few days. Either way, I believe that is everything we have for housekeeping. Oh no, there's one more thing for housekeeping. Last week, I, for whatever reason, didn't do a That Just Happened episode. That Just Happened is the new show on the channel. I don't know, I printed my notes all goofy, so didn't see them because they weren't on the sheet, so we will be returning with an episode of That Just Happened this week. So that being said, I do believe that is everything for housekeeping. So, we have episodic shows. The news for episodic this episode is the shortest section of the entire episode. So, I don't know, I guess kind of sort of my apologies, but it's not my fault it's a slow news week. We only have follow-ups, and in those follow-ups, we only have two. First up, we have Pennyworth. That's right. The HBO Max series that started out on Epix is no more. As of the end of season 2, Pennyworth is no more. So James Gunn strikes again. We see another, I don't even know if you could call this a fan favorite. It was interesting. Like, I dug what they were trying to do. Execution is questionable sometimes, but still an interesting thought, but I can understand why it was canceled. It's been canceled. Let's move on. Our only other piece in follow-ups and corrections has to do with The Last of Us Episode 5. If you haven't heard already, the Super Bowl is happening this Sunday, which is generally when The Last of Us would be airing. And since, you know, nobody wants to compete with the Super Bowl, you will get your Last of Us Episode 5 not just one, but 2 days early. You will be able to stream at the regular time. I believe it's 7 p.m. Pacific time. I think I have that right. I didn't put it in the notes. Of course I didn't put it in the notes. Why would I have put it in the notes? That's just ridiculous. But yeah, it will be its regular time. It'll just be going up on Friday instead of Sunday. So there you go. That's what we've got for episodic content for just TV and streaming and things. So let's talk suggestions for episodic. This one is, honestly, I'm working my way through the final season. Finally, it took me forever to get here, but I'm here. Walking Dead. Let's talk about The Walking Dead. That is your suggestion for the week. This, I mean, comparable to The Last of Us, and it came out, what, like 13 years before the last, well, all right, so came out a few years before the game The Last of Us, but about 13 years before the series The Last of Us, and in a lot of ways, kind of does it better. Last of Us is great, don't get me wrong, bigger Walking Dead fan. So yeah, that's your suggestion for this week. Oh, let's move into movies. Let's move into movies. Let's move into movies. We're talking about the DCU again. Quiet Place prequel movie. We have Gladiator 2, Constantine 2. Let's do this. All right, so follow-ups and corrections is where all of this lives effectively. I think we got a trailer in here too. Yeah, we got one new trailer this week, but we have a small boatload of follow-ups and corrections. So they're all follow follow-ups. I don't think I had to correct anything. But first up, we're talking DCU. I gotta drop the E. The DCU. James Gunn is walking back something he said in that video we talked about last week. Because in that video, very explicitly, he says that The Flash, the movie The Flash, starring Ezra Miller, which that's a whole different ball of wax. The movie The Flash is supposed to be rebooting the entire DC universe. And now James Gunn is saying, well, actually, no, there are still 4 characters that are explicitly potentially going to be coming back. He does not go so far as to say, yes, these 4 actors will be returning to their roles. But we do have Zachary Levi, Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, and Zolo Maraduena. So Shazam, The Flash, Jason Momoa, and Blue Beetle, respectively, all will be very potentially could be returning again. He was very specific to not say absolutely these people are going to be coming back. But that does leave open the door for Ezra Miller to return to his role as the Flash. Ezra Miller, the person who held a family hostage at gunpoint. Yes, the same Ezra Miller who, when he had a disagreement with a fan, choked her out. Yes, the same Ezra Miller who went on this crazy Grand Theft Auto style crime spree while on vacation in Hawaii. That guy, that Ezra Miller, yes, that Ezra Miller who potentially was being very shady with people under the age of 18, yes, 100%. That's the guy that they're leaving the door open for. Any hope that I had of a clean break for the future just went out the window with the announcement that they are considering keeping Ezra Miller. Like the official announcement. It had been rumored for some time at this point, but it is officially a thing that they potentially could keep Ezra Miller. And I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where that could ever be a good thing. At least immediately after, like, wow, really? Immediately after he is in all of this legal trouble, we're just leaving that door open. Maybe, 5, 7, 8 years down the road, a decade down the road, when he's, shown that he actually feels bad for going crazy. Yeah, then I can understand reopening the door, but to just keep that thing open, yeah, all right, we're gonna move on because I'm just gonna keep rambling on that one. So that's what we got for DCU. Next is one that I'm actually legitimately excited about. A Quiet Place, the prequel, or the spin-off series, we now know 100% is actually a prequel. It is going to be called A Quiet Place Day One. John Krasinski has posted images showing us that they are actively in principal photography for this movie. Super stoked. Gonna be keeping tabs. Let's move on. Next is one that I believe started as a rumor, and then we reported on it like, yes, this is actually going to be made, but it was originally supposed to be a reboot series, or a reboot movie rather, and that is I Know What You Did Last Summer. So, from what I am gathering, there is still the possibility that we are going to be seeing that I Know What You Did Last Summer series that is based on the book and not the original movie, because those are two very different things. But this is going to be a continuation of the movie franchise. And not just that, but wait, there's more. We have Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. both coming back to this movie franchise. Oh man, after the Ezra Miller bit, nothing surprises me anymore. Let's continue on, shall we? All right, so next we have Gladiator 2. This one we've been keeping tabs on just because the original was a great movie. Russell Crowe, fantastic actor. Joaquin Phoenix, also a fantastic actor. The Gladiator 2 now has an official release date, and it is November 22nd of 2024. So next year, we will be seeing the continuation of that story. And then our final piece of follow-up news is honestly exciting like you don't understand. And that is Keanu Reeves' Constantine 2 is still moving forward. There is still forward motion going on this project. This is one that's kind of snuck in under the radar because James Gunn hasn't said anything about this specifically, but there have been production staff that have talked with Entertainment Weekly, and they have confirmed that yes, there is still forward motion going. I believe they're still in the pre-production phase. I don't believe there is a script that exists for this just yet. However, there is a caveat to this, and that is, once it does hit James Gunn's radar, there is absolutely zero guarantee that it will come to fruition. So once we have a script, once there is somebody set in that spot, it could get killed it could be dead in the water. We don't know, but as of right now, we're moving forward. So we're going to see Keanu come back as John Constantine, which is an interesting situation. That's probably a whole different video. That's what we got for follow-ups and corrections. Let's talk about these trailers real quick. We one trailer specifically. This is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania final trailer release. Link down in the description. I mean, at this point, like, we have the leaks, right? We know what's going to happen in the movie, and this kind of confirms some of that. So at least part of that big giant leak from a couple weeks ago is legit. And I don't know. I feel like this trailer just kind of shot itself in the foot. Bill Murray can only go so far. He's not going to carry a whole movie. That's what we got. So that is everything for the movie section, save for movie suggestions. This week's movie suggestion is Constantine. Came out February 18th of 2005, and it's not the John Constantine from the comic books, but it is a very unique and kind of awesome original take on the concept, so you should probably go check it out. That is your suggestion this week. Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves from 2005. Do the thing. And so brings us the rumor mill. We got no confirmations, refutations. We got no new sources for old rumors. We just got new rumors. First thing, Swamp Thing is rumored to be directed by James Mangold. I don't see why not. I don't see why yes. So 50% likelihood that Mangold is going to be the guy for the job. I mean, he's done nerdy things in the past, so like, I'm okay with it, but no, the source is kind of weak on this one, so I can't really go too hard into the paint with that. Our next rumor is a big one, kind of, and that has to do with Yellowstone. Yellowstone, the big rumor here is that we might be seeing the end of the John Dutton story specifically, but not the end of the Yellowstone series, as there is rumors that Matthew McConaughey is in talks to come and kind of replace Kevin Costner as the lead of the series. It was kind of vague, because I got this from actually about 3 or 4 different sources, kind of vague as to whether or not it was going to be a new named series in the Yellowstone universe, or if McConaughey was going to come into the Yellowstone series itself and just be the new protagonist, which would require a lot of build-up. Assuming that John Dutton dies somehow would be the only way I feel like that character would leave the show. But it was very specifically noted that a few of the current series leads would also be returning for this new storyline in the Yellowstone universe. So very interesting. This was confirmed, was substantiated, I guess is more appropriate, through a number of different sources. So I feel like it's hard. It's hard because, like, Matthew McConaughey, really, for a series, for, potentially 5 to 6 years of a new series, like, that's a big ask. That's a big, big ask. So I don't feel comfortable going over 65%. I feel like that's generous. It's legitimate, but it's generous. So let's move on. We got gaming is our next subject. Iron Man, the game that we got teased some time ago, that is coming from EA Motive, is apparently actively being produced now. Previously, we just got like the teaser image, and that's about it. Now we have rumors saying that since Dead Space has been released, EA Motive has been freed up to continue work and go hard on the production for this new Iron Man game. So that's pretty exciting. Honestly, my gaming sources for rumors are usually pretty spot on. So I'm giving this one a full on 75% likelihood, just because there is a little bit of room there, because we don't know for certain that EA Motive is the production house that's doing it. If that were confirmed, we'd probably go a little bit higher. And then we got tech rumors. That's right, we don't get a lot of tech rumors, but we got one, and it has to do with Apple and their new iPhone. It's not a new iPhone 16, but a new flagship model of the iPhone 15, reportedly going to be called the super original iPhone 15 Ultra, because we got the Pro and the Max, and now Ultra is better because we got the M2 Ultra, we got the smartwatch Ultra. I don't know Apple products that well. Ultra is definitely a naming theme that they've been using for some time, so this stands to reason. Again, my tech rumors are usually pretty good. This one I'm putting at about 85%, because I'll be very, very surprised if we don't see this. And that, Big Show Nerds, is the end of the episode. So thank you very much for joining me. If you want to get a little bit deeper into nerd news and nerd culture, you can join me on my personal YouTube channel, Generally Nerdy. While you're here, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share on all of the Big Show Entertainment media platforms. And tune in next time for all that's happening across the nerd world.